everybody. I am here with Keani Rawlins-Fernandez. She is a candidate for the Molokai seat of the Maui County Council. We're going to walk story. Thank you for joining us, Keani.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can you just tell us a little bit about your background? What are your ties to Maui and Molokai? And what makes you want to become a county council member?
So I was born and raised on Molokai into a generational family. My family has been on Molokai since the beginning of time, really. This is my home. I have kuleana to this place, to our people. I want to honor our kupuna and really build a solid future for our keiki. And to awamo this kuleana, I went to law school. I got my law degree. I specialize in environmental law and Native Hawaiian law, and I also earned a master's in business administration. And all of this to really serve my community. I also have a background, a legislative background. I worked at the state legislature for Representative Jarrett Keohakalole, and last year I had the privilege of working for Council Member Ellie Cochran. So I have council experience, and this past year I worked at I worked as a lead advocate for the Hawaii Center for Food Safety this session, and successfully passed the law. And all of this I feel will really help me bring more to the table so that I can really serve our community.
Right. So you mentioned being involved in that law. I just kind of want to talk about that really quick because Molokai is Monsanto is one of the largest employers on Molokai. How do you feel about their operations on that island? How do you balance regulation and the fact that these people provide a living for so many people?
Right. So Monsanto is currently the largest employer on Molokai. It really wasn't, agribusinesses wasn't something that our island had envisioned for our future. So we are at Mycogen closed this past March, and as we prepare for what always happens or what has historically happened on Molokai, which is large businesses will come in, like the pineapple industry, like Kaluakoi Resort, and they'll close their doors, like Mycogen just did. And we'll have an opportunity to then continue to invest in what we as an island envision for ourselves. We have great entrepreneurs. Kupua'e is one of the entrepreneurs that designed the scarf that I'm wearing.
Nice.
So we have great people rising up and starting businesses. And Molokai was once a training ground for kahuna, like a center of for education. And I know that's something that a lot of community members would love to see again. Molokai being focused on education.
So speaking of Molokai, what are some of the issues facing that community that you would highlight as part of the council, and how does that relate to, since Maui will vote for you at large or vote against you at large, how does that relate to the issues facing Maui Nui?
Right. So the first part of your question was what are the concerns on Molokai, and so there are a lot of concerns, but one of the largest concerns is that a lot of our community members don't feel like they have a voice in decision making in government, and so one of the things that I plan to do is make it possible for our community members to testify via video chat. I mean, we have Skype on our phone, we have FaceTime, we have the technology, and so I would like to use existing technology to incorporate that into making participating in government easier, especially for those who are geographically disconnected, like Molokai. And
so that would be like from their home or wherever they have a device.
Wherever they are.
Yeah,
I mean, there are some people like teachers who have our working community who cannot just leave their classroom, leave the fire station to go to the chambers to testify. And so, and we also have our kupuna, who aren't as mobile.
Right.
And so we need to help them to make it easier for them to make their voices heard. And this is something that I strongly believe in, and will implement when on the council. Another, so as you said, economics is one thing. On Molokai, we have two economies. We have a cash economy, and we have our subsistence economy. And both are extremely important to our island, and it's important that our cash economy doesn't supersede or heavily impact our subsistence economy, because a lot of our community members still rely heavily on subsistence. A recent study, the latest study done on Molokai showed that over 30% of someone's meal is supplemented by subsistence.
Wow, that's on the island.
That's on Molokai.
Wow.
Yeah, that's here.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as the county budget that just passed, right? Is there any priorities that you would like to have changed from the last budget if you were in the council?
Well, one of the things that I did speak to during the budget session was the redevelopment of Wailuku.
Yeah.
With the housing crisis that we're in right now, I just couldn't see justifying allocating over $80 million in redeveloping, this place, and jeopardizing our retail, our locally owned businesses. So that was one of a really big concern for me.
All right. Well, thank you, Keani. We're reaching the end of Market Street here. I want to thank you for spending time with us today. And don't forget to vote on August 6th in the primary election.
August
11th, excuse me, and
11th.
November 6th.
And you can vote for all 9.
Yes.
All of Maui County can vote for me on Molokai, and all 9. Don't leave any blank this time. On Molokai, we had over 11,000 blank votes. So, mahalo.